This is how you do an oil and filter change on a 2018 Honda Civic. First, if you have ramps, use the ramps, put under the front wheels and drive the car up on the ramp. If you don't have ramp, then use a jack and jack stands to get the car up in the air. So now the car is up on the ramp, go ahead and pull the hood. Other stuff you might need is a drop cloth to prevent oil from spilling on the ground. Because sometimes it gets windy and the oil splashes all over the place when you open the drain plug. So you can use a drop cloth, you need a creep, and you need the oil drain pan. For this particular car, typically it is 70mm socket to open the drain plug, but in this case it was a 16mm, and I had a filter wrench to crack the oil filter. So turn that, and then you can use a hand to remove it. So as I said, this is a 16mm socket that is being used to open the drain plug. So set your oil pan now. Try and set it as best as possible so that the oil doesn't spill, and even if it spills, it will fall on the drop cloth. So there you go now, oil is being drained. Now you can go ahead and open the filter. So once you open the filter, a lot of oil will be running. Be sure that the oil pan is properly set to catch it. So after the excess oil has been drained from the filter, you can go ahead and just remove it completely and rest it down in the oil pan. So now we have our new oil, 020 mobile 1 oil. I'm gonna use a bit to lubricate the gasket of the oil filter so that the filter doesn't get stuck when the next person is doing an oil change on it. Next, you're going to clean the surface of the oil filter housing. Ensure that there's no gasket there from the previous oil filter. Ensure that the surface is smooth and clean. And then you go ahead and install your new oil filter. Alright, this repair manual says untight, but my gloves were slipping, so I used the filter pliers to just give it a little more assistance to be sure that it's tight enough. Alright, so go ahead and remove and replace it, your drain plug, with your crush washer. Clean out the area, clean up any oil spill, and then you can go ahead and tighten the drain plug. So I marked the drain plug for liability reasons, so in case someone else does the oil change and let's say the car runs out of oil, I can use that mark to say, alright, this drain plug wasn't tampered with, so if it runs out of oil, that means the car is burning oil and it didn't get the oil change or leaking from the plug. Okay, next you throw in the oil, get a funnel, throw in the oil. This particular car takes about 4.5 quarts of oil. This is a fully synthetic oil, 020. Okay, so you can go ahead and replace your engine oil filler cap. You have to be sure to remember to replace that, replace the drain plug, replace the oil filter. Those are very important, or else you can go down the road and oil will be all over the place. So keep that in mind. So the next thing to do is go in the car, start the car, let it run for a couple minutes. Go ahead and reset the dashboard or your oil change light. Reset the trip miles to 0. Next thing you do is go out. That's what an important thing to do after the car has been running for a certain time is to go back under the car and check the oil filter if there's any leak from the oil filter or the drain plug, just to be sure that everything is back to where they were initially and everything is tight enough to prevent any leak. Also, I do a visual inspection under the car, CV, axle, and so on. Do a visual inspection on the brakes, and the tires, and the fluids. So while I'm moving around, I basically check those stuff to ensure that everything looks normal. Check the belt visually, and then I normally check the fluid level when I put it, the engine oil level when I put it back on the flat surface. In this case, I've done this car several times, so I know exactly how much oil it takes. So after you finish all that, you can go ahead and take the car down off the ramp, and then you check your switch off, and then you check your oil level to ensure that you have enough oil in the car according to the manufacturer specifications. That's basically it.